All right, gang, welcome back to our Survive 25 here on Zielonka. Today, we don't have a ton to do today. One thing we are going to do right off the bat here is sell this. I've talked about it in previous episodes. It's not exactly what we thought it was going to be. There are some other ones that have come out on ModHub. I might install those. We'll see. But that one really, it goes off the market price versus what the actual store price is, which is what I had thought. So I misread that at some point. There's also a new foil tunnel greenhouse that came out, which is significantly cheaper than everything else. This is going to help us out tremendously. So we might put one of those down. But before we do any of that, we're going to buy this Pottinger Rotocare V12400. It's the hoe. I've talked about it recently in other series that I'm really enjoying doing the hoeing stuff. So we're going to go ahead and purchase that. It will also save us money. Now, you might be asking, well, do you really need the sprayer anymore? Probably not. We're going to keep it, though, in case there's a contract or something like that maybe we want to utilize it for. Might as well, because we already have, fertilizer and things like, well, we have technically herbicide in there, I think, right now. So we might as well keep it, and we utilize that for contracts and things like that. And then, eventually, later on, if we want to sell it, we can do so. So we're going to go pick that up. Now, there's a reason why we're going to go pick that up, mostly because there are two contracts out here for hoeing. There they are. I was going to see where the hell they go. I know they're out here. That will, give us a little bit of money back. Is it going to be the entire amount we just paid for it? No, but it's going to give us a good chunk back. It's going to make that hoe only cost around $10,000, something like that. And there's some other contracts as well that we might pick up too, but we're going to start with those because today we really don't have a whole lot to do. Now, you might have also noticed that we had more money to start with than what we typically do, and we really didn't make a whole lot of additions in the last episode that would have caused us to get that kind of money. Reason being of why is, well, one, we're starting late, right? It's almost noon, right? So we're starting late, so we got a few more hours of the selling that we normally wouldn't get, because we'll start normally around 8, 9 o'clock, sometimes 10, but normally it's 8 o'clock that we start at, right? So a few more hours of selling, plus I flipped all of the greenhouses that were currently distributing and or storing crops to selling as well before the overnight occurred. Mostly because our preserved food factory right now is completely full. So there's no reason for us just to sit there and have that storing in our greenhouses when we can make a little money, which will help us out right now. So that's what we did. Now, a couple other things I'd like to do. There are a few contracts for like green beans and things like that. If we could do those, I have to look and see how much it costs for us to lease the stuff. But if we could do those, and we're able to stop it from selling everything, we could then take those green beans and put it into our preserved food factory, because that would make us a little bit more money in the long run, right? So we'd have to kind of take a peek and see. So where are we going here? We've got field 22, which is over here, and then field 12 is up near where we are. So we'll go to field 22 first. The easiest way, I guess I'm just going to go down here and then take this road up. I don't think we've ever been on that road. Or I guess I could take the main road. Either way. I don't know why I turned the beacons off, but the beacon's back on. Z, what are you doing, buddy? How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you checked out the brand new challenge series that I put on the channel. We did a back-to-back starter. The investment challenge by my friend Rusty Money Gaming. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure you go check that out. It's going to be a fun one, man. I think we started out well. I think we started out as good as we possibly could, given the circumstances. It's a lot of contracts, similar to this series right now, right? But that's just because you're starting out and you have no land at all besides your yard. You have no fields, nothing when you start out. So it's a slow grind there. We do have a decent chunk of land for animals, which we already have, them going, and they're already reproducing. So, well, they're almost to the point where they're going to be reproducing, I should say. I'm going to turn the little map on here, because I really don't know where I'm going here. I'm going to take this road, I guess. I mean, I don't think it really matters that much, right? So anyway. So we're going to do these hoeing contracts today. The other option is we can probably put down, by the time we're done doing these, we could probably put down another greenhouse. I showed you the new $5,000 foil greenhouse, which is much cheaper, which we might consider. There's also a field that I'm also considering purchasing. Granted, I've talked about this before, right? The goal here really is to get as many greenhouses down as possible, but you know, the greenhouses, they make us money, but it's a slow grind. You know, putting one down, you're not really making a ton of money off of one. You know, you're bumping it up a little bit every month, and that certainly helps, but it's not... All right, we're coming up to it. It's not really what what you're looking for, right? It's not really making us enough money. So I'm thinking maybe if we buy another field, a small field like the one we purchased, I think it's actually right next to it. If we purchase that field and then put something in there, you know, that could be another source of income for us, which would help us get the greenhouses going faster. I don't know yet. I haven't fully decided that statement yet. That's just kind of where my head was thinking of at least considering doing. Man, this thing is super weeded up. Holy smokes. Yeah, man, I love doing this weeding, man. It's really fun. And I mentioned this a number of times, so bear with me if you've watched the episodes already where I mentioned it, but I'm very surprised that in FS22 I did not really utilize the hoeing or the weeders or anything like that very often. I think I used the weeders a couple of times. I didn't really love the weeders, and then I was like, forget it. But I'm not sure I ever really heavily, at least, utilized this. And I like it a lot. I don't know why. I just do. It reminds me a little bit of fertilizing. I hate rolling. I think I like it, and I think I've mentioned this before, but I'm going to say it one more time, so bear with me. I think I like this so much is because of how fast you can do it, right? It's an easy job. I can knock this stuff out quickly. It's good money. It doesn't cost anything to do it besides your wear and tear on your equipment and the gas of the tractor itself. So it's very financially feasible to do this, right? I don't have to worry about buying any kind of product that's going to be an expense on top of, you know, doing a contract for whoever, right? We're just getting the money outright. After you purchase the equipment, you're just getting the money outright. You don't have to put anything else into it. My problem with rolling, which everyone knows how much I despise rolling, unless you just stumbled across this. It's just, I hate it. When you go around the corner, or if you go around the corner, if you get to the end of the field, and you pick up the roller and then try to put it back down, it just takes an eternity to pick it up, takes an eternity to put it back down. I'm kind of wondering if maybe my tractor doesn't have enough horsepower for this hoe. It seems to have a little bit of issues here. But I looked at it, and it should have. I mean, 160 horsepower. I mean, we have 171, so it shouldn't have any issues. I mean, that was one of the main reasons here for getting another tractor, right? Is getting one that had a little bit more horsepower in it, so we can buy things like this. Equipment that's going to help us out right now. Now, I saw a lot of comments over the last, I don't know how long it's been. I had a few of these, admittedly, I had a few of these done ahead of time. So, since that, I've saw a number of comments that people are either agreeing or disagreeing with my statement that I'm going to, when I move on to Farm 2, which is nowhere near, let's fully be transparent here, we're nowhere near a statement to say we're going to be moving to the next farm anytime soon. But when that time does come, we are not going to utilize any of the equipment that we've purchased here. Now, we're going to sell probably most of, if not all of the equipment, with the exception of maybe a tractor or a truck or something that can pull the water trailer around, because that's really all it's going to be is greenhouses, right? But we're not going to carry any of this equipment over. We've got to buy all new equipment or utilize all different equipment for the second farm. All right, that's done. Now we just got to head up to field 12. Which, see, what's the easiest way to get there? I mean, probably taking the main road, honestly. Let's go take the main road. Whoa! I think I probably need a weight on the front. It's probably what I need. Yeah, we're lifting the wheels up. They're the wheels up. The tires up in the front. We probably need a weight. That's probably part of our problem. We might have to look into that. Clearly a tornado came through here. You can look at those trees there. Alright, well, it's telling me to do this field, but I'm not really seeing that it needs any hoeing. Whatever. I'm not going to complain. You wanna give it to me? I'll do it. It's fine. Interesting. So when we get this back to the farm, we probably will service this, which will really give us an idea of how much money we have to play with here. And obviously, we're going to be making some money here every hour as we move along, because we have everything on selling, right? All the greenhouses are on selling. The kimchi is on selling, right? Everything's on selling. And now some of you might be asking, well, Z, last episode you talked about, the reason why you were getting this is because you want to move some pallets around. And that's true. I do. My plan here, obviously we have the kimchi going, but eventually, I mean, we want to start putting in other items, fruit crops, like we put green beans or peas or something in there, because it also has the ability to do that. Now, those fluctuate a hell of a lot more than the kimchi does. The kimchi is like a $20 fluctuation. It's just always going to be on selling. There's really no reason for us to store those for $20. It's just not even worth our time and the effort and the gas and wear and tear to even attempt that. So we're not going to. But the other ones, absolutely. Which is kind of why I was leaning towards the fact of saying if we find some contracts that we could maybe take some of that excess crop that we get and hold on to it and put that into our preserved food factory, we could, in theory, make a lot more money. Or at least a decent amount more money. Right? So that's kind of where we're at. Now, I'm not utilizing, as you've noticed, I'm not utilizing any kind of steering assist or anything like that here. Don't really care. I'm getting pretty much the exact same thing that I would do there. I don't really need it for this type of field. It's super easy. And I'm used to it because I'm on console. So we've never had until now, we've never had access to GPS. We've never ever had course play. We still don't. This field's almost done. We'll be done before we get to the top of the hill. This tractor's definitely having a little bit of issue with the hoeing here. And I think it might just be the hills here, because these are pretty severe hills, but... Now, we didn't upgrade the tractor at all, right? So there is some upgrades we can make that probably would make this a little bit easier, but will we do it? I don't know. Probably not. All right, we are done. Those contracts are done. We can turn those in, make some money. Let's do a quick save, obviously. Collect. Nice. Any other ones that popped out? No. Okay. So there's a couple spraying contracts here. So let's look. See, we've got some harvesting contracts here. Green beans with a reduced 9.59. See, that's not even worth our time, I don't think. I mean, you'd get a little bit, right? And it's right next to our yard, so maybe it's worth it in that sense, and you're not driving that far. But, I mean, even if we take the contract on, we're only going to make like $600. I would ideally like, if I was going to do this, I'd ideally like to have this plus one other harvesting contract that's out here for that, right? That would be the more ideal situation, I think. That's not even worth it. Reduce reward by $1,280, and the contract's only $819. That's not right. They need to fix that. Okay, this fertilizing contract's right next to us. It's 426. We might want to do that. It would take 2 seconds to do it. We've got some cultivating we can do here. There's a weeding. Couple spraying contracts too. Okay, let's get this back to the farm here. I'm going to service it. Like I said, the money that we just made from that from those contracts probably is going to be all put towards servicing this, but in the long run, this is going to save us money. So, all right, let's go service this thing, and we can put it away. And then, like I said, we'll see what we can get into. We'll probably run around and fill up all the greenhouses first with some water. Probably good for them. Evidently, I have those on storing. I thought I had them on selling. Wait a minute. I do have them on storing. That was a mistake on me. It should be selling. Whoops. Oh, that's the Napa cabbage to go in there. Whoops, that should have been on selling. Oh well. Well, we've got one pallet we're gonna have to sell ourselves at some point, which is fine. We can wait on that pallet until it's best. I don't think it's today. We'll double check that, but I don't think it's best to sell them today. Okay, repair. Perfect. I mean, we might as well repair the tractor too while we're at it. Why not? All right, there we go. We're up to 35. We just slipped over to 1 o'clock. We just flipped over to 1 o'clock and got a little bit more money, as you can see, so not too bad. Not too bad. So let's go put this away, or at least over in this vicinity for now. Kind of starting to run out of room a little bit in there. I think I'm just going to put it here for right now. I'm going to figure out something for the yard later on. Let's hook up to the water tank here. Let's just kind of make sure we fill up all of our greenhouses here. Make sure they're kosher and good to go. Now, an issue that I'm noticing, this land over here where I'm actually driving through right now, it's not the flattest. We're going to have some issues probably with a little bit of floating, kind of like we did with those two down there, right? I could spend a lot of money trying to flatten out the land, right? Make it look a little bit more as it should. I don't necessarily know if I would want to spend that money on that. I don't necessarily know if it really matters that much if something's partially floating a little bit. I mean, it probably does matter, I guess, to an extent for all of you, but really, is it really, you know, breaking the immersion so much that it's not enjoyable? I don't think so, right? Because those are clearly floating, like the little water bales there. They're clearly floating. Oh, it is what it is, right? Trying to manipulate the land a little bit to make it where that's not going to possibly be, you know, where we won't have as much or very little of any floating would probably cost the amount of money we have right now in land clearing and movement. So I think I'm just going to kind of ignore it a little bit to an extent. As long as it's not too drastic, you know, we'll just let it go. These greenhouses needed a lot of water, it looks like. We need to take a look at the hydroponic and see how they're doing on the liquid fertilizer as well. So we may need to fill that up. Let's go ahead and do that now. Where are they at? They're at the very top, aren't they? Yes, they are. Yeah, they could use a little bit, I think. So let's go ahead and fill up some liquid fertilizer now. And by fill up, I mean we're going to have to run to the shop, I think. I don't think we have anything over here. Let's run to the shop. We'll get a pallet or two of it, fill this up, and then we'll take care of those hydroponic greenhouses, and then we can put some more water in and go from there. All right, we're almost back here. I'm not sure we're going to be able to get rid of all the liquid fertilizer out of here, but it's going to be a very small amount if we can't, so we can continue on with the episode, and then eventually we'll be able to get rid of it, the rest of it, and we can top these up with water, although they don't need much more water. I mean, they're probably fine if we didn't top them up today. Yeah, So I was going to say it's going to be a tiny amount that's not going to hold. All right, so we'll leave that there for now. There are some new hoeing contracts that popped out. I think today we might just do some heavy hoeing, just because it's a new piece of equipment we got, and I'm enjoying doing it right now. So we're just going to take care of those 2 hoeing contracts. And then the next decision is going to be is if we're going to buy another piece of land or if we're going to put down another greenhouse or multiple of those $5,000 greenhouses. One thing I was considering, actually, let me go ahead and take these. Let me get in the right spot here. Let me grab these before we run out of them. We're going to probably buy a weight, too. I probably should have bought it when I was down there just now, but I didn't really think about it. So we'll accept both of these. And this should easily pay for the weight we want to purchase. So let's go ahead and buy a weight while we're at it. I forget where the weights are. Here they are. We don't need anything crazy. $1,000 would be plenty, I think. 600. I don't think we need any more than that. I really don't. So let's buy this one. Okay. So the fee, before we go start doing these contracts, the field I was considering buying is this one right here. It's field 72. It's $31,295. It's not that far off from where we are now. It is right next to the field that we own. So it's a very small field, but it would be nice. We could potentially combine these two if we really wanted to. So I'm considering that. It's either that or we put down one of the new greenhouses that I've installed. So I showed you the one. You probably already saw the other one too. But I also installed this fruit greenhouse, which I think would be pretty useful to have, mainly because you can see in the bottom there, we can do peas, we can do spinach, we can do green beans, grapes, olives, all kinds of stuff. Evidently, you can do cotton too, even though I don't see cotton down there. It says cotton on the actual text there. And if we go to our production here, and we look to Preserved Food Factory, canned peas, right? All it takes is peas, beans, same thing, beans. All it takes is beans. So we can do both of those. I don't think anything... Well, spinach. I guess we can do spinach too. I was going to say, I don't think anything else in here really would be useful from that. But, you know, we could do 1, 2, or 3, all of them, whatever we wanted to do, which would give us a little bit more money. And then if we go look at 45 spinach bag, jarred green beans, and canned peas, if we go look at the price of those, right? Jarred green beans are a hell of a lot of money. A hell of a lot of money. So, I mean, that kind of makes me want to, you know, go that path. So I think that might be what we do. And what that means is we could technically buy both. We could do one of those greenhouses and purchase that field if we go about this the right way. Doesn't mean we have to do some more contracts. Now, the 2 we're going to make here should get us into a point where we could buy the field. But if we want to buy that greenhouse as well, we need another 12 grand. Which is not, you know, it's no slouch, right? It's going to take us a while to get to that point. So, let's head down to the shop. Let's pick up the weight. We'll do field 47, and then we will do field 52. All right, well, we're nearly done here, gang. This isn't too bad at all, man. I'm really, really enjoying it. I know I mentioned that already, but it's the truth. I am. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. I will try to do these contracts anytime I can now at this point. They're fast. They're easy. It's good money. Real good money. All right, there's a few spots I know for a fact that I missed. We just have to kind of touch them here a little bit. Hopefully we'll be able to take care of it. All right, all done. Put the beacons back on here. Fold this sucker up. Do a quick save. Collect the monies. Make sure there's no other contract out there for hoeing while we're at it, since we're in the area. Probably won't be. Nope. So now we got to make a choice, right? We've got 33,454. We can either put down the greenhouse or buy the field. Maybe, like I said, maybe we can do both, but the episode's getting pretty long already to this point. So if we do a really long contract, we don't really have any, right? We're going to have to do multiple contracts just to get the 12,000. So I think we need to make the choice on which one we prefer to do. And as much as I want that field over there, I think the smarter play for us, because that field doesn't have anything in it, is to wait and see what the computer puts in there, or what the game decides to put in there in that field. Because if it's something we can harvest, then we can buy it at that point, right? And we save ourselves a little bit of money. We save ourselves on, you know, the fertilizer, the seed, everything. So I think based off of that, we're going to hold off. We will put down at least one of the other greenhouses I was showing you. I don't think we're going to do the $5,000 foil greenhouses. They take up a lot of space. We might do one. I guess I shouldn't say that. But we're not going to do one today. We're going to do that fruit greenhouse today. And yeah, I think we'll just put down one for now. We'll see how it does. If it needs more, if we need more than one, we'll put down a second one in the next episode or a future episode. All right, well, first things first, gang, we're going to put down this buying station, which should be better than what we had before. This should be basically just like buying it from the store. Now, it does give you the option to buy a bunch of other crops and everything else. We're not going to do that. We're literally only going to use this specifically for fertilizer, seeds, herbicide, whatever. That's it. That's all we're using it for. We're not buying crops or anything like that. We're not doing any of that. So let's put that down there. And I'm a little concerned with where to put this at. This is not the flattest land right here. This area, it's pretty hilly. So no matter what we do, we're going to probably have a little bit of this issue over here where we've got some floating going on, right? So I don't love it at all, as a matter of fact. I might end up putting this here. Let's try it there. It does give us room in here to get out of the pipe. I don't think we're going to actually need the pipe, though. I actually don't think we're going to need it at all. Let's head over here and let's grab the tank here. We can unload the rest of the fertilizer, then we can fill it up. Now, the thing about this fruit greenhouse, it requires a lot. It requires herbicide, it requires fertilizer, solid fertilizer, which I'm not really sure how I'm going to go about that yet. I guess I'll have to put some in the fertilizer spreader and then just unload it and then utilize the box of it or whatever. And then water and seeds. So it requires a lot. a lot. So let's pull it up here really quick. Fruit greenhouse, here we go. We want to activate the green beans, the peas, and the spinach. We want all of them, but we want them to be on distributing. We want to send that to a preserved food factory. So, they are going to be on, not the olives. The peas, spinach, and the green beans are on. They're on distributing now. So we need to fill this thing up with herbicides, seeds, solid fertilizer, and water. And as you can tell, it holds a shit ton. We are not going to fill that to max. I'm going to tell you that right now. Maybe later on, but right now we are not going to be filling that up to max. And I have a high feeling that that is going to produce stuff pretty quickly. So we're probably going to be having that on selling relatively quickly as well. But initially, we need to get stuff into that preserved food factory, right? So let's do... We'll do herbicide. That's an expensive amount of herbicide there. That was very, very expensive. That was probably too much. I probably didn't need to buy that much. But that's all right. Now let's see if I can actually drop this off over here by the water tank, or if I have to go down the middle. I might have to go down the middle. When I say the middle, I mean over there to the middle of the greenhouse itself. Oh, it's taking it. Okay, that's good. Good, good, good. So we got to get seeds in there and solid fertilizer. And then water. We're spending a lot of money on this, so we got to hope this actually works as we expect it to, right? Now, I don't know exactly how this is going to work. I want to look at this and see. It said it had seeds in here. I don't know if it truly has seeds in here. No, it does not. Okay. All right, good. We can only do buffalo milk, liquid fertilizer, water, herbicide. And it needs solid fertilizer. So, we'll have to do that the old-fashioned way, which is fine. That's really what I wanted that to be for anyway, right? I didn't want that to be utilized for anything else besides that. Now, we do have 2 boxes of seeds there that we can move over there. We will do that. We're going to have to buy some fertilizer, or at least unload the fertilizer out of the fertilizer spreader. Now, if I take the fertilizer spreader, the solid fertilizer spreader over there, I'm assuming, and I'm pretty sure it's a positive statement, that I should be able to just fill it up from there too, I would think. Would see no reason why I wouldn't be able to. Alright, so we're filling up water and all these other items here. There's a lot of water to be filled up in the hydroponic greenhouses. It's going to take a lot of trips here. A lot of trips. So let's take a break for just a second. I want to just try. I want to test it out, rather. If I take this and see if it'll let me fill up solid fertilizer and then unload it. Now, if I unload it, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pick it up by hand. Not that I really want to do it, that approach. Really, we're going to eventually get a front loader for this. We've talked about that, right? And that front loader is how we're going to move this stuff around. But when I'm off camera, I do utilize the liftable bales and pallets mod sometimes just to help me whenever I want to do any stuff off camera. It's looking like no. Oh, it does. Okay, good. All right, cool. So I should be able to just do this and unload them, and it's not going to be the most ideal thing, but I mean it's going to take a long time too early on, right? If it needs that much solid fertilizer. Okay, yeah, it still lets me pick it up, so that's good. That's good. So I'm going to put this back over here really quick. And what we're going to do for now in the interim, until we're able to get that front loader, which we could have got today, I guess, if we would have went about a different approach than what we did. But we could have probably bought it today if we didn't buy the weeder or the, all of that herbicide, right? But that's okay. For now, we'll utilize this little fork thing that it's not perfect, but it works. And we can move at least those over there and at least get some of that started. It's not going to be as good as we want it to be, but it will at least get it started. At least get the greenhouse going, rather, right? It's probably going to stop overnight unless I do a little bit of off-camera work, which I might. All right, it is going in there. It is going in there. Okay, good, good, good. Now, I won't bring all these pallets over here. I can do a lot of this, like I said, off camera. But we'll at least get it started before we end this episode. Perfect. Yeah, there's not much in there at all. Wonder if I can just get the trailer out. I wonder if the trailer would work. I didn't really think about that. Let me try that. Let me try that really quick. Let's see if the trailer would work. It probably won't. Oh, that went well. That went well. But the trailer's an option I didn't even think about until just now. We'll probably try it with the seeds first, because the seeds are cheaper. Much cheaper. And I'm not going to fill it all the way to the max. If it does work, I'm not going to fill it all the way up to the max. We don't have enough money to do that. Okay, I didn't really want solid fertilizer, but it does work. I mean, I'm just picking that up from the ground, so whatever, that's fine. We can take this over here then. Well, that's good to know. I mean, I guess you should know that it's going to work. It just, for whatever reason, I was like, I don't know, it might not. Okay, let's see if this works. Out of the actual buying silo is what I mean at this point. Yeah, it's gonna work. Alright, that's plenty. That's too many seeds, actually. It's not. For the actual greenhouse itself, it's not, but it's too much. I bought more than I wanted to buy. Alright, good, 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 good. Well, that's good. I'm glad that that worked. So, let's leave this here for right now. I know it's kind of in the way. I'll put it away in a second, though, because I'm going to be doing some off-camera work, clearly, to get that filled up some more. Let's fill this up with some water, and let's at least get some water in the actual greenhouse now before we close this out, so that way it's actually running when we end the episode. Might be able to get water out of that that buying silo as well, and I don't know if the water's free or not, but if it is free, it might be something where maybe we get rid of that. I don't know. Looks like I'm going to have to fill these other ones up first. There's no way around it. It's unfortunate. Well, let's go see if we can get water for free out of that other one. So if we can sell that. Even though I like that, we can sell it. We don't really need 2 of them on the... If we can do it all in one, we might as well utilize this one. Water's free. And it fills up significantly faster. Holy smokes, it's really fast. Alright, well that makes that decision up real quick for us. Real quick. Alright, let's get rid of this thing, huh? Opens up the area by our house a little bit too. Alright, we are underway, gang. We are making green beans and peas, and as you can already see, we have already made a ton. We are making so many. We're already at 1,500 liters of green beans, peas, and spinach. Holy cow, this might be a little OP. It might be a little OP. Now, granted, it costs a shit ton of money to put everything in there, as you saw. A lot of money. But if we're going to fill those up that fast, our little tiny preserved food factory is going to be full in seconds. 24,000 liters, and we're pumping out 1,500. I mean, we're already at 2,000 liters. Oh my goodness. That is insane. Well, that's going to be full real quick. So that means we could make a good chunk of change here out of this. That might be just what we needed. Just what we needed to really start making some massive progress here. And by massive progress, I mean doubling the output here of our greenhouses, right? There's not going to be probably many mushrooms that we're going to put down anymore. It's probably going to be mostly hydroponic, regular greenhouses, foil greenhouse, or that fruit greenhouse. The mushrooms were really because they were the fastest one to be able to make and make us money. So that's the reason they were down, right? But, I mean, now that we have this going, and if we're going to make that kind of money, we're not going to need... we're not going to need all those mushrooms anymore. We'll keep them, certainly, for quite a while, but eventually they might get upgraded. Who knows? But anyway, we are going to leave the episode at this point, gang. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would appreciate it if you smashed the like button for me. Subscribe if you're new and stumbled across this and are still checking it out. Thanks so much to my members. All 12 of you are absolutely amazing. Cannot thank you guys enough. If you're interested in becoming a member, links down below in the description. Lots of perks you get, including early access to videos like this. Thoughts, questions, comments, ideas, let me know down below. I'll see you in the next one.